Welcome to How to Create Passive Income in Your Business.
Developing your vision of what the company looks like, then developing the tools to be able to communicate those things you stand for, your missions, your objectives, then starting to put together the systems that can bring your team together and lay out the plans, build the rocks, and work through the issues list. Takes a while to develop this, but once you get this under control and off and running, then you can really start working on the people side of the equation. And when you're working on the people side, I want to share with you just a couple of ideas that can really help you get the right people in the right seat. One of the tools that's used in Traction is something called the GWC. It's just where you're taking your people and you're asking this question: do they get it? Do they want it? And do they have the capacity? Because you'll have some people who get it. They're brilliant. They really understand what the job's about. But then you kind of wonder, do they really want it? Are they showing that energy that they're digging and working and trying to get to the other side? And if that's the case, then the next hurdle is, do they have the capacity? Sometimes they get it, they understand it, and they want it, but they have some other constraint. It may just be a physical constraint, a time constraint, maybe a family issue. Just they don't have the capacity to take it all in. But if you're going to get the right people in the right seats, this is key that they can pass this standard. The next standard that we'll use is, do they adhere? Do they represent those core values? Sometimes you'll get the right seat and the right people, but they don't really represent your culture and what you stand for. And so that's imperative, because no matter how good they are, if they don't fit your culture, then it won't work long haul. So one of the things I do when I'm bringing people in at the beginning is I talk about the fact that I'm constantly internally outsourcing. I tell every person on my staff, look, I don't have any employees here. I'm not hiring any helpers. I have brought in solution providers. And one of the things I love to do, anyone's working with me, I like to get them a name tag, and it says Bill Jones, Incorporated. I see Bill Jones as having his own company, and I have purchased a solution to my challenges. And oftentimes I'm telling them their key role is to learn what the person they're working with needs and help them solve some problems to free them up to get to the next level. That's some of the other tools you can use on the people side. And there's a lot of other tools in Traction that helps you get the right people in the right seat. So let's talk a little bit about data, getting the right information quickly with the time we've got. Two areas that's imperative. You want to develop some company scorecards, two types of scorecards. One, where your individuals in your organization have set some goals. We want to create some measurables and track their progress. The second part of a scorecard is where everybody in the company has an obligation to report back to their leadership some key metrics on how their job functions. Now, the key to this working is, in most cases, when the owner is looking for information, they're going digging for it, asking for it, begging for it. You have to create these scorecards in a way that the obligation is on your staff people to report back to you every day with these numbers. And everybody has something in their position that can be related to a number. You think about it kind of like a dashboard on your car. Car has a lot of moving parts, but there's four or five gauges on your dashboard that if you watch those, you can pretty well tell how the car's doing. And that's the purpose of scorecards, getting data back to you. There's a lot of great tools in Traction to help you get that information back that you need to run your company more effectively. This is the key thing most entrepreneurs are missing. They don't have enough data to really make good decisions. And that's an area we can do some big things in. So let's talk about issues. How do we get issues solved? I mentioned earlier this IDS methodology. It is imperative that everybody in your organization have the freedom at any time to bring any issue to the table. You have to have an open culture that encourages everyone to feel free to bring an issue and not get clobbered for it. And you know that in many organizations, you bring up a problem, you'll be run out of town. Keep quiet, just do your job. That is the death knell for a scaling company. And so I work with the people that I'm working with on some tools that lets those issues get up to the table so that they can be identified and determine what is the real issue here. That's another one of the challenges. Sometimes you get presented with an issue, but there's something underneath it that's the underlying factor in the deal. So you have to have a system that you can identify the problem and discover the real issue. Then be able to debate it, be able to discuss it, and make a decision if it's something you're going to try to solve or table it for a later date. Then start working through solving those issues and getting them off the list. So a great business that's growing and scaling has to know the issues, make quick decisions about them, and be able to get them solved. Great processes and traction on how to be able to do that. Well, let's kind of wrap up here as we go. Next, we're going to talk about developing a process. One of the most important things you can do is to take the service that you offer right now. Don't change it at all, but put it into a name branded solution. Now, JD is the best I've ever seen about this. He never starts down a direction of providing a service without naming it and defining it and putting it into a process that everyone can understand. When I used to talk about estate planning services, people would say, what do you do? And I would say, well, you come in, we analyze your situation, we determine what insurance you have, what are your issues, do you have a will? And we go through all of that, and that is very difficult to communicate. So we changed that to be able to say, we're the creators of the succession solution, 6 steps to keeping your business alive if you're dead. Then there's an overview paragraph that defines the mission and what we're trying to accomplish. And then we break it down into 6 steps. Now, these are the same 6 steps we were already doing, but being able to define them, putting a name on them that describes them, creates an incredible marketing tool. It helps your staff understand the process as well, and a way to document who's on track and what's the process you're working someone through. What this does is it enables you to stop selling yourself, stop selling what you do, and start selling a process that you're the creator of. This will revolutionize the way you market your service and build operations and systems and the people to carry it through. It's the key to being a self-managed company, because a self-managed company sells a system that other people in the business operate. So I spend a lot of time with our clients helping them create a name branded solution. And as I said, I've actually written an ebook that helps you pick the names, pick the steps, and how to build it all out. Very important tool.
Just to comment on top of that, I think that's one thing that Paul and I had a difficulty with, is so many people were so used to working just with us. And this really helps tremendously in naming a system and how you help people, because then people are purchasing the system rather than purchasing, just, at least for us, it was time with us. And they're purchasing our team, our company. This is the solution that is provided to you. This is how you're going to solve that problem. This is how we're going to change the way you think. This is how we're going to help you build courage through Onward 72, or through working with Lynn, or through our Onward Accelerator program. These are the systems, and you'll start to see as you go through this and you take the time to do it, you're going to go, wow, that's why they do it this way. It is so powerful, and it will start to completely change your relationship with your clients and your relationship with your business too.
And when you get these steps in place, that's when the final step comes in. You'll start getting traction. You'll start running your weekly meetings and quarterly meetings in a way to move these forward. And that's when you can begin to really establish that self-managed company and start reaching your goals. So that's the beginning of the process. The goal today was just to give you a good overview. I hope that's helped. And let's work towards some ways that we can stay connected, JD.
Lynn, great job. Thank you so much, man, for everything that you've done for us. It means so much that you're a part of our team now and helping our clients as well.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.